The sun has come out and the weather is actually starting to reflect the month of May. But with the turn of the calendar, this also means that the Amityville spring sports season will soon come to an end. Today is the final home game of the year for the Amityville Warriors baseball team. And today, they welcome in the Islip Buccaneers for the second of a 3-game set to end the year. But today is about a lot more than just baseball. It's senior day here in Amityville, as head coach Jack Zeiter gets to honor his seniors and send them out on the field one more time for their Amityville Warriors career. We have that entire celebration plus first pitch and all the action coming up right now on the Amityville Broadcasting Network. It's a beautiful day here on the campus of Amityville Memorial High School as the Amityville Warriors baseball team gets set to host the Islip Buccaneers, Game 2 of a 3-game set. Warriors falling short yesterday, 9-0 out in Islip, but they come home today for the last time in the 2022 season. And that means it's senior day here in Amityville, a very special day where all of the Amityville seniors will be honored by head coach Jack Zeiter. We will have that ceremony for you immediately upon the conclusion of this ball game. We'll talk about the seniors as we go through it all. Should be a fun day. It's going to be a special day for these athletes playing their last home game ever. But there's still a baseball game to be played, and we can't forget that. Matt Grice, Dante Rigsby, here with you on the Amityville Broadcasting Network. It's Warriors and the Buccaneers coming up now on the Amityville Broadcasting Network. And again, thank you so much for spending your Wednesday afternoon with us here on the Amityville Broadcasting Network. Dante, we finally have some good weather to play baseball in.
Yeah, it's fantastic weather out today. It's like 60 degrees. It's really good weather for baseball today. It's a little windy, but shouldn't be no problem for this team.
Might be a problem for us over here with our papers blowing all over the place. Also, as far as the outfielders go, any ball hit in the air, that's something to be mindful of. The wind right now, it is blowing in. So any ball hit to left field, the outfielders should be aware. We are ready to go here as the first batter of the day comes up. It is Joe Urban. Urban, this season, leading off for the Islip Buccaneers. He takes a ball from pitcher Aiden Fonsetto. Fastball strike at the letters, and the count evens up at 1-1. We will take you through the entire lineups. First, we'll give you the Amityville defense as Fonsetto deals the 1-1 low and inside, and the count is 2-1. For the Warriors, going from third to first, it's Jabiwin, Jamal Luciano, Almonte is at second, and Jeremiah Luciano is at first as we get another ball, and the count is now 3-1. In the outfield, from left to right, Hinton is in left, Fontaine, the senior, in center, and Mejia in right field. As Fonsetto, the pitcher, deals ball 4 outside to the catcher, Randy Rodriguez, a senior, along with Jamal Luciano and Tim Fontaine, who are all starting for the Warriors today. So Urban leads off with a walk. Fonsetto needs to find the strike zone here. Have to look for the steal. Infielders need to be ready. And the pitch from Fonsetto, breaking ball, hits the inside corner for a strike. Count is 0-1. Right now, it is Colin Hogg who's playing catcher today and batting second for the Buccaneers. We'll give you the full lineup in a second. Leading off first base is Urban. Ball in the dirt, out in front. He's going to second, and Rodriguez eats the ball. So it'll be a wild pitch, and on to second base goes Joe Urban. And this is not what the Warriors want to do to start this game, is now the Buccaneers have a runner in scoring position, nobody out. This is a game that Coach Jack Zeiter feels his team has a very good chance to win. As here's the pitch from Fonsetto. It's lined up the middle. That'll be a base hit. Fontaine's going to have to get it in quick to try to prevent the run from scoring, and Fontaine playing very shallow, able to do that. So a single for Hug, and it's now runners at the corners, nobody out here, top of the first inning.
Oh, Islip is going to get started early today. Already have a man on third base.
The lineup for the Islip Buccaneers, Urban led off with the walk, followed by Hogg with the single. Dylan McKenna is up next. He's batting third, playing right field. Fonsetto deals breaking ball, pops straight up in the air. That'll be out of play on the first base side, but looking for it and losing it in the sun and the wind was Jeremiah Luciano, and we have almost a perfectly clear blue sky here, so between that and the wind, it's going to be hard to track those fly balls. Batting fourth, Ethan Ferrara. Batting fifth will be the designated hitter, Kenny Pastanara. As Fonsetto gets the sign and deals. And he hits him right between the shoulder blades. So a hit by pitch, McKenna will take first base. And that will load the bases with nobody out here in the top of the first inning. Batting sixth, Sean Ryan, who's the second baseman, batting seventh. Pete Brochart, who's in left field today. Batting eighth, A.J. Giel, who's at third. And Lou Paluas is in center field, and he is batting ninth. Right now there's a meeting on the mound. The entire infield is in, along with Coach Zeider. And Dante, this is a key moment of this game. Bases loaded, nobody out top of the first. You don't want to put yourself in an early hole.
No, the Warriors have to find a way to get the guy on third base out, or at least strike out this next batter coming up. So we're going to see what they do as they resume to their spots.
So the cleanup hitter, Ethan Ferrara, playing first base today for the Buccaneers. He steps in the batter's box. Right-hander facing the righty Fonsetto. Fonsetto in an early jam here in Amityville. Bases loaded, nobody out. Fonsetto deals, fastball just outside, and the count 1-0. We mentioned it's a beautiful day here, but it is windy, which is going to play a factor. Right now the Warriors have the infield in. Fastball low at the knees, taken for a strike, so the count evens up at 1-1, and that's where you want to put the ball, Dante, if you're trying to get a ground ball out. All the Warriors in right now in the infield, hoping to cut off a ground ball by throwing it home. There's the pitch, and it's a liner off the glove of Jabiwin into left field. And that will bring home a run. Only one run will score, and we'll have to see how they officially score it, whether that's a hit or an error. But Ferrara finds himself on first base with an RBI, and it's 1-0 Islip, top of the first inning. Still nobody out here for Fonsetto, and that will bring up Pastanara. Here's the pitch, fastball up at the chin. That's a ball, and the count is 1-0.
Have all three bases loaded at this time. They need to get a strikeout.
Fonsetto gets his sign from the stretch, deals a breaking ball, swinging and grounding it past the second baseman into right field. One run will score. Here's the throw home, not in time. Rodriguez able to block it and keep it in front of him, but another run scores, and it will be a 2 RBI single for the number 5 hitter, Kenny Pastanara. So 3-0, Warriors still looking for their first out. Coach Zeider out now, having a conversation with both umpires in front of the mound, wondering what it is that they're discussing. Runners to the corners, 3-0, Islip. And still nobody out.
So right now, Coach is talking with the umpires as he's walking off the field, noticing that...
Not really sure what the discussion here was about, but Pastrana gets himself a solid hit just out of the reach of Almonte, who was moving from his right to his left. Couldn't get to it, but a good job by Mejia out in right field, getting that ball in quickly. 2 runs did score on the play. So Fonsetto gets back to the bump, looking for the first out. 3 early runs here in for Islip. We mentioned yesterday the Warriors fell short 9-0 at Islip to this team. Amityville on the season, looking for the first win this year. They are 0-12 in both the league and non-league games. Every game has been a league game. And as far as Islip goes, Islip improved yesterday to 4-11 on the season. And we still have a delay here. Not quite sure what's going on. And now it looks like they are going to send home Colin Hogg.
Looks like there's a little miscommunication on the field right now.
And no, I take that back. The umpires were discussing. I don't know. Coach Snyder's still having a conversation. I'm not really sure what the holdup here is. Everything seems to be returned to where it should be. 3 runs in, runners at the corners, nobody out. Top of the first inning. Fonsetto on the hill. He will be facing the number 6 hitter, Sean Ryan. Fonsetto from the stretch, checks the runner at third. Here's a grounder foul down the third base line. And Fonsetto in front of the count, 0-1.
Early on, Fonsetto has a good arm. He's finding his base in this game, and he's doing a good job so far. Let's see if he can keep it up.
Fonsetto checks the runners, deals the 0-1, fouled straight back, 0-2. So this is the best position Aiden Fonsetto has found himself in so far early on today, ahead of the hitter, Sean Ryan, 0-2. You're going to have to watch that runner at first base also, as Pastorana has a good lead over there, and you can expect him to take off. As there's a ground ball to shortstop. Moving over to his right was Luciano. Throws across the diamond. In time, a run scores on the play, but the Warriors record their first out of the game. It'll be an RBI, fielder's choice for Ryan, and Islip goes up 4-0. Moving to second base on the play was Pastorana. You could score that a 6-3 fielder's choice. And here's the pitch, grounded to shortstop again. It'll be another chance for Luciano. Throws across the diamond in time.
Whoa. 3 outs.
And Brochart was the hitter on that, so he grounds out 6-3 to end the inning. I think that's what they were arguing about before. They must have said somebody had left early on a base. So at the end of a half inning of play, 4 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. And it's Islip 4 and the Amityville Warriors coming to bat here on the Amityville Broadcasting Network. And Dante, we talked about Amityville wanting to get off to a fast start. There's a lot of good feelings surrounding this team coming in that they had a very good chance to win this game. And they've put themselves in a hole. Again, they lost 4-0 yesterday. So we'll see if the Warrior bats can wake up, as they will have the task of going up against Max Bergen. Max Bergen will be the starting pitcher today for the Buccaneers.
So far, the Islip's off to a great start. It's 4-0. Am I correct? All right, so they're off to a great start. So they're going to see if they can keep it up, get the Warriors out early. But we'll see what the Warriors have to bring. They're looking like a strong team today. Had a great practice before the game. So we're going to see what they have to bring.
Bergen, the 11th grader, steps to the mound. Southpaw, left-hander, so that's something the Warrior bats are going to have to be aware of.
And when I point to you, you put on the other one.
4-0. Bottom of the first inning, Buccaneers out in front. Okay, thanks. So the Buccaneers are finishing their in-between inning warm-ups, and it looks like Max Bergen ready to go as the teams throw the ball down. And I'll take you through the defense here real quick. It'll be Gio, Urban, Ryan, and Ferrara. That's left to right across the infield. Across the outfield, left to right, Brochard is in center. Paulos is in. Brochard is in left. Paulos is in center. McKenna is in right. Haug is behind the plate, and Bergen, the pitcher, for the Islip Buccaneers. For the Amityville Warriors, senior catcher Randy Rodriguez, he will lead off, followed by Jamal Luciano, also a senior. Elijah Jabouin is batting third. Jemiah Luciano is batting fourth. Welmy Almonte is in the 5 hole. Tyler Hinton is batting 6th. Aiden Fonsetto, the pitcher, he's batting 7th. Tim Fontaine batting 8th. And Kenneth Garcia, the designated hitter, batting for the right fielder, Juan Mejia. And we are all set. Bergen delivers his first pitch, and that will be low for a ball. So the count is 1-0 to the leadoff hitter, Randy Rodriguez. And the pitch fouled straight up and back. Good cut by Rodriguez, and the count evens up at 1-1. Infield playing straight away, outfield playing fairly shallow, shifted all the way to the left as the lefty deals. It's popped straight up on a 1-1 pitch. Can somebody make the play? Running in, calling it and catching is Ferrara, the first baseman. He makes the play in foul territory right in front of the Buccaneers bench, and we have one away. And that will bring up Jamal Luciano, playing shortstop, one of the seniors being honored here today in Amityville.
Rodriguez had a great hit, but they were fast. Oh.
First pitch, good cut, fouled straight back, and the count 0-1. Luciano's back in the box. Bergen has his sign. The 0-1 low for a ball. Count evens up at 1 apiece. One out here, bottom of the first inning. Warriors trail 4-0. Still looking for their first run in this series. Second game of a 3-game set. And the lefty deals. And that's a deadly changeup. Way out in front on the play was Luciano. And the count is now 1-2.
Luciano looks like he's getting ready. Looks like he's trying to get in the right position.
The pitch, called strike 3 on the outside corner, and there are quickly 2 away here in the bottom of the first inning. So that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Elijah Jabouin. Jabouin manning third base today for the Warriors as the lefty Bergen deals. And that one's hit in the air to center field. Tracking it, calling it, and making the catch is Paulos, an easy can of corn. And that will end the first inning here in Amityville, as after 1 inning of play, the Warriors find themselves trailing the Buccaneers by a score of 4-0.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. I'm here to warn you about telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Some of these scammers may say threatening things like you will be arrested if you don't make payments or provide personal information. Do not fall for these tricks. These calls are not from us. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you for information or money. If you receive a call like this, hang up. Never give the caller your personal information, like your Social Security number or bank account, or send money in any form, cash, gift cards, wire transfers, or prepaid debit cards. Report the call to our law enforcement arm, the Office of the Inspector General, at oig.ssa.gov. Share this information with your friends and family.
Hey, this is Jack Schneider, head coach of the Amityville Warrior Baseball team. You're watching Warrior Baseball on the Amityville Broadcasting Network.
Top of the second inning here from Amityville Memorial High School as the Warriors host the Islip Buccaneers for Senior Day here on the Amityville Broadcasting Network. Matt Grice alongside Dante Rigsby. Warriors find themselves in a bit of a hole. We'll have to see how Fonsetto bounces back here in the second inning. But Warriors have finished their warm-ups. Fonsetto has finished his tosses, and we are set to start the second inning of play. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Buccaneers due up. And in that first inning, Buccaneers plated 4 runs on 2 hits, 1 error by the Warriors off the third baseman Jabwin's glove. But we are all set to go, and leading off is A.J. Giel, and he swings at the first pitch, grounds it over to third. Jabwin across the diamond, going to have to make a scoop at first, and able to do so was Jeremiah Luciano. So a good play, a good scoop, and 1 pitch, 1 out to start the second inning.
It's off to a good start so far for the Warriors. Let's hope they can keep it up. Fonte's arm's looking good, and get a couple strikes.
That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, lefty Lou Paulos. Fonsetto back to the mound. 4-0. Early lead here for the Buccaneers as Fonsetto deals fastball just a bit inside, and the count 1-0. Next pitch is grounded right towards us, almost a souvenir, foul.
Oh.
So the count evens up at 1 apiece. Fonsetto gets the sign and deals to the southpaw. Breaking ball, backdoor breaking ball, catches the outside corner for a strike. Good pitch from Fonsetto, and Fonsetto's ahead in the count, 1-2. Fonsetto working quickly, gets his sign from the stretch, low, and the count evens up at 2. Interesting that Fonsetto likes to pitch from the stretch here, even though nobody is on base. Quick to the plate, the 2-2 fastball, grounded towards first. Fielded cleanly there by Luciano, and he'll take it himself. Scored a 3 unassisted, and Fonsetto gets 2 quick outs here in the top of the second inning. So we go back to the top of the order, and that will bring up Joe Urban, the shortstop, led off the game with a walk, ended up coming around and getting to second base on a wild pitch and scoring the first run of the ball game. Fonsetto deals and looked like a breaking ball upstairs. The count is 0-1 to Urban, or 1-0, excuse me, to Urban. Fonsetto continues to work quick. Fastball at the knees, just a little bit low. And Fonsetto finds himself behind 2-0. Fonsetto doing much better to start this inning when he's getting ahead in the count on the hitters, but falling behind the leadoff hitter. As here's a ground ball towards shortstop, and it's going to go off the glove of Luciano. Rounding first base and stopping right there will be Joe Urban, the leadoff hitter, and that'll be an error on the shortstop. So Urban reaches for the second time today, and that'll bring up the number 2 hitter, Colin Hogg.
It was a great hit by Urban, and to know not to run to second base, to stay at first base, that was a smart move on his behalf.
Second error of the game for the Warriors as they trail 4-0 in the top of the second inning. Fonsetto deals upstairs. Count is 1-0 to Hogg. 2 away here. Urban leading off of first. Fonsetto gets his sign and now checks the runner, and getting back quickly was Urban. We'll have to see if Islip tries to get a runner in scoring position with 2 outs and goes for the stolen base. Fonsetto fastball low in the dirt. Nice stop by Rodriguez. And the count is 2-0. Once again, you get behind on these hitters, you get yourself in trouble. If you get ahead, you get 2 quick outs. So we'll have to see how Fonsetto responds here. But he can certainly get out of trouble. Here's the pitch, and breaking ball way out in front of that pitch was Hogg, and it's fouled off, just getting a piece of it, and the count is now 2-1. Wind seems to have died down a little bit, still blowing in from left field as the Warriors outfield is shifted. Left fielder Hinton playing very close to the line, and there's the pitch, and that'll be taken for a ball. So Fonsetto behind 3-1 with 2 outs and 2 bases open. I wouldn't give Hogg something too good to hit here. Hogg did have a base hit back in the first inning and eventually came around to score a run. Here's the pitch, and there's a fly ball hit into right field. Mejia looks at it and pulls it in. Easy can of corn, and that will do it. So after an inning and a half of play for the Buccaneers, no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. And at the end of 1.5 innings, Warriors trailing 4-0.
It's great to see the Warriors doing a lot better in this his second rather than the first that they had. Seeing them do their thing, getting into the grooves early on. So we're going to see a lot of that. People just getting warmed up and started.
Amityville's going to have to get their bats going if they want to have a chance to win this game, trailing 4-0 already. Remember, this is Senior Day, and we will be talking about these seniors. Hopefully we'll get a chance to speak with some of them. Head coach Jack Zeider will be honoring the seniors on the Warriors team right at the end of the game. We will have the whole ceremony for you right here on the Amityville Broadcasting Network. But right now, there's a game to be played, and there's work to be done, as the Warriors this inning will be sending up their 4, 5, and 6 hitters, which include Jeremiah Luciano, Welmy Almonte, and Tyler Hinton. So the lefty on the mound, Max Bergen, and I wonder, he's a junior. He's small, but he seems to have good control here early on. The Warriors probably haven't seen too many lefty pitchers this year, so you have to keep in mind that as a right-handed hitter, the breaking ball is going to be coming into you instead of going away, which could be an adjustment that the Warriors find difficult here. But if I was Amityville, I would be making sure that I'm timing these pitches. Bergen's got some movement. He's changing speeds, but he's not throwing exceptionally hard. But I know the Warriors desperately want to get some swings on the ball. So we're set for the bottom of the second inning. Warriors trailing 4-0. Jeremiah Luciano comes up to bat. And Bergen gets his sign and deals. Swung on and missed. Good breaking ball as Luciano chases one by his ankles. So quickly the count 0-1. Bergen gets the sign. And from the windup inside, count evens up at 1 apiece.
Whoa. It's a low ball right there.
Bergen gets his sign and deals the 1-1 fastball just outside, and the count is 2-1. With Luciano ahead of the count here, he's got to be looking at a pitch that he can drive. And there's a good fastball down the middle. Nice cut by Luciano as he fouls it straight back. And the count will remain 1-2. Lefty on righty. Southpaw Bergen from the windup deals, and fastball hit straight up into the backstop, and the count remains 1-2.
Straight from the start, Berman's arm's been looking good so far. He has a couple low balls, but he's been having some great pitches.
The 1-2. Swung on and missed. Changeup. Luciano well out in front of it. He goes down swinging. Second strikeout of the game for Bergen, and that will bring up the number 5 hitter in the Warrior lineup, Welmy Almonte. Almonte, the righty, gets set to face the lefty. First pitch, way out in front, hits a number in front of the plate. Will it stay fair? It's touched by the third baseman very smartly as Giel comes in, heads up play, because if that ball rolls back fair, then most certainly Almonte has himself an infield hit. But nonetheless, Almonte gathers up his helmet, and he'll take the long 90-foot jog back to home plate. Down 0-1 in the count. Bergen looks at Haug, shakes him off a few times, and deals the 0-1. Almonte swings way out in front of it, and the count 0-2. Looked like Almonte was looking for a fastball. Instead, he got a changeup. So Almonte finds himself down 0-2. Bergen with 2 strikeouts already, looking to put him away. The pitch. Fouled straight back. Good cut by Almonte to stay alive. And the count remains 0-2. Outfield here shifted to the left. The right fielder playing pretty shallow. That would be McKenna. Infield straightaway. Big hole up the middle. The 0-2 to Almonte, and once again, way out in front of it, and waves at a breaking ball outside for a strikeout. Third strikeout of the day for Bergen. 2 swinging, 1 looking, and that will bring up Tyler Hinton, the left fielder for the Warriors, as he gets his first at-bat today. Amityville trails 4-0 here in the bottom of the second inning. It's senior day here in Amityville High School. Pitch off speed, swung on and missed. And the count is 0-1. Bergen deals the 0-1. Swung on and missed again. I like the aggressiveness of the Warrior bats, but so far coming up empty as Hinton is behind in the count. The 0-2. Upstairs, Hinton lays off, and the count is 1-2. Now the 1-2 from Bergen. Outside, and the count evens up at 2 apiece. It's a beautiful day here today. The weather is perfect. It's been kind of a nasty spring. And none of these teams on Long Island have had a chance to play many baseball games in nice weather. Here's the pitch, and swung on and missed as Max Bergen strikes out the side to end the second inning. And after 2 innings of play, the Amityville Warriors on senior day find themselves trailing the Buccaneers of Islip by a score of 4-0. Third inning of play coming up right after this on the Amityville Broadcasting Network.
If you are sick with COVID-19 or think you might have it, take steps to help protect other people from getting sick. Stay home except to get medical care. Call the doctor before visiting. Separate yourself from others who live with you. Wear a mask to protect others. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue and clean your hands right away. Avoid sharing items with other people in your home. This includes things like towels and bedding. Be sure dishes are washed in hot water or the dishwasher before anyone else uses them. Stay aware of how you feel. If you start to have difficulty breathing, or if you are worried about your health, call your doctor. For more tips, visit cdc.gov.
My name is Timothy Fontaine. I'm a center fielder, and you're watching Amityville Baseball on the Amityville Warriors Network.
2 innings in the books here at Amityville Memorial High School. The Warriors on senior day currently trailing the Islip Buccaneers by a score of 4-0. Aiden Fonsetto found himself in a hole in the first inning. Led off the game with a walk, then gave up a base hit a batter. Then a run came around to score on the fielder's choice. And later another base hit would drive in a run. And that's where we stand. Fonsetto bounced back really well in the second inning. But it is 4-0, and we'll see what Fonsetto's able to do going against the 3, 4, and 5 hitters of Islip. There's a pitch, and it is outside for a ball.
All right, Fonsetto's doing really good to start off.
McKenna the hitter. Fonsetto throws a 55-foot pitch. Not even close, as McKenna has no problem laying off that. McKenna's first at-bat, he was hit squarely in the number 2, right between the shoulder blades. So looking to make his first contact of the day. Breaking ball from Fonsetto, line into right field, and that will drop in front of Mejia for a base hit. So a leadoff single for McKenna, and that will bring up the cleanup hitter, Ferrara, as he reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning, came around to score. But the leadoff man is on once again for Islip. So let's see how the Warriors respond. Have to see if Islip tries to steal second here. There's a fastball called a strike right at the letters, and the count is 0-1.
That was a great pitch by Fonsetto. Let's see if he can keep it up. like Jamal Luciano. He's really being fast at shortstop.
Pitch is breaking ball upstairs, and the count evens up at 1 apiece. None of these pitchers throwing very hard today, which is why both teams have that outfield shift as Fonsetto steps off the mound and looks McKenna back to the bag.
All right.
The 1-1 from Fonsetto, swung on and lined into left field. That's a base hit, played on 2 hops, Hinton, and he'll get it in quickly. Advancing to second on the place is McKenna. So back-to-back singles to start the 3rd inning of play here. Fonsetto throwing strikes, which you want to see if you're Coach Zeider. But as the lefty, Pastorana, comes up to bat, the designated hitter, the Warriors find themselves in a little bit of trouble. Runners on first and second, nobody out here in the top of the 3rd. Fonsetto checking the runner at second and deals upstairs, and the count 1-0. Fonsetto looking like he's having a little bit of trouble keeping the ball down, especially that breaking ball that he keeps snapping off. He's more successful if he can get that ball to break around the player's knees. There's one right there for a strike. Good pitch from Fonsetto. Count evens up at 1 apiece. Pastorana, a single at his first at-bat.
I like to see
And another strike.
I like seeing Fonsetto check all the bases and his field awareness. It's really good. And he's getting ready to pitch as he checks both bases.
And that one will be low. So Fonsetto right now behind in the count to the designated hitter, Pastorana. And I have to apologize. Pastorana actually reached on an error. Hit the ball hard, but it went off of Jabiwin's glove, as there's a good cut, fouled straight back by Pastorana. And the count should be even at 2 apiece. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Fonsetto doesn't look at the runners, throws a breaking ball way out in front of it. Was Pastorana as he hits a slow nubbler to the right side and foul. So the count remains 2-2. Good pitch by Fonsetto. I would think now you'd have to come back with the fastball as you have Pastorana's timing a bit off here. Let's see what Fonsetto decides to do. There's the fastball, bit inside, and the count goes full.
All right, we're going to see if Fonsetto can strike him out here or if he's going to walk.
Senior day here in Amityville. Islip on top 4-0, top of the 3rd inning, and there's ball 4 from Fonseca. That's a problem because now the bases are all loaded up. Second walk of the game, or actually 3rd if you count the hits batter. Coach Zeider is going to go out and have a chat with Fonsetto.
So last time we saw this, they scored 4 points. Scored 4 runs. So let's hopefully that the Warriors can stop them and prevent that.
And if I'm Coach Zeider right now, I'm probably telling Aiden Fonsetto, listen, actually it looks like he's going to make a pitching change. So we will get you that information as soon as we have it. But Fonsetto, who you have to give a lot of credit to, as you know, he's eating up important innings here for the Amityville Warriors. But Fonsetto's a freshman.
Yeah, it's good to see a freshman on a varsity baseball team. Don't see that very often. He's really improved as a player over his middle school years, and he's shown that he's capable to be up here.
All right, so Fonsetto, his day is done on the mound as Coach Zeider wanted to make a change. have the Islip Buccaneers get a bit of a different look here is 2/3 of the lineup got to see Fonsetto twice already. It is bases loaded, nobody out, top of the 3rd inning. Ryan is about to come up for the Buccaneers, and Ryan's first at bat, he grounded out to shortstop, fielder's choice, but did get an RBI on the play.
They're just warming up.
So we have some lineup changes for you. We'll get that to you right now. Matt Grice, Dante Rigsby here on the Amityville Broadcasting Network. And Dante, you can tell us what's going on.
So right now, Coach felt it was best that Fonsetto and Jeremiah Luciano switched. So Fonsetto is now at first base, and Luciano is pitching now. So as he's getting warmed up right now to go, Luciano's Fonsetto, apologize, is at first base now, where all 3 bases are still loaded, and we will resume.
So the lineup doesn't change for the Warriors. They just switched positions. Jeremiah Luciano throws his first pitch, and it's a deep fly ball into left field. Looking back over his shoulder, it's going to one-hop the fence. Played in by Hinton. 1 run will score. 2 runs will come across the plate. And it is a long 2 RBI single for Ryan. And it is now a 6-0 lead for the Islip Buccaneers. So it'll be runners on first and second. Still nobody out. That ball is in the dirt. Gets past Rodriguez. Both runners will easily advance. That takes away the force play. And now you have runners at second and third. Nobody out after the wild pitch.
Still, Luciano getting warmed up and prepared since the coach felt that it was necessary to do a switch. As a couple, the pitch is up. And it is a ball.
So that will bring Brochart to the plate in his first at-bat. He grounded out to shortstop. Warriors need an out here desperately as that pitch also in the dirt gets past Rodriguez, but with runners on second and third, nobody advancing on the play. So Fonsetto comes out of the ball game, and Jeremiah Luciano comes in, having trouble finding the strike zone here early on to Brochart. And there's a strike. Three hits in the inning so far. 2 runs have scored. As here's the pitch, and that one's outside for ball 4. That'll load up the bases. So Brochart reaches for the first time today on the walk. And the Warriors, they're in a bit of trouble here as they find themselves in the same situation they were in the first inning. It is bases loaded and still nobody out. There's a pitch grounded to third base. Chance to go home. Jabwin gets the force at the plate. Excellent play by him. Heads up, playing on the grass. And the Warriors able to cut the run off at home and keep this a 6-0 game.
So that was a great field awareness by the Warriors to go back to home instead of throwing it to third base. So great field awareness by the third base man, Jabon.
So that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Paulos, as it was Gil who grounded out. Luciano deals. That ball's low in the dirt. Thinking about running but deciding to stay put at third was Pastorana. No, I'm sorry, that was Ryan. Ryan is at third base. Bases still loaded. 1 out here in the top of the third. Swung on and hit right over to us here in foul territory. And we almost had our second souvenir of the day. Good cut from Paulos.
I should have caught it. Would have been a strike.
Could have got it autographed afterwards.
It's a great hit.
Luciano deals, and it's grounded hard down the first base line. That's a fair ball. 1 run will score. Here comes the second runner. He'll score, and it's a 2 RBI, 1 out single by the number 9 hitter, Paulos. And with 2 more runs coming across the board, it is now 8-0 Buccaneers here in the top of the third.
Seto, first baseman, was so close to catching the ball if he would have caught it.
That's a tough play right down the line, though, for Fonseca to make. As we get to the top of the order, it'll be the leadoff hitter, Joe Urban. He swings at the first pitch and lines a base hit into right field. Bobbled by Mejia, but able to recover and get it in. Thinking about scoring on the play was Gil, but he decides to hold up.
Now there's a little confusion happening as the coaches of Islip talks.
So that's another base hit. And now the Buccaneers have batted around here in the top of the third inning. So runners on second and third. Sorry, Dante.
That was a great hit by Joe Urban.
Or bases are still loaded. I'm sorry.
The player seems to be coming out.
So we'll have to see what change is made. A little limp. We'll try to get that information for you. Eight nothing. Amityville has given up 4 runs in the top of the first, 4 runs here now in the top of the third inning, and Coach Zeider pulling Aiden Fonseca for Jeremiah Luciano, trying to get his team out of this inning. So coming into pinch run at first base for Joe Urban will be Dylan Brochart, cousin of Peter Brochart, senior, who's in this game, one of 2 seniors playing for the Islip Bucks. And first pitch taken for a strike to the number 2 hitter, Hogue. Hogue represents the 9th hitter to come to the plate this inning, as there's a cut fouled straight back. So Luciano ahead in the count, 0-2. Luciano deals the 0-2, and it's popped straight up in the air. Rodriguez gives it a look, but it's going to be in the bench of the Buccaneers. So again, Dylan Brochart comes in to pinch run for Joe Urban. Hopefully he's okay. Urban walked his first at-bat. He reached on an error by the shortstop in the second inning, and then exits the game after his single, and now we get a hits batter, and that's going to force in a run by Luciano. So Hogue moves to first on the hit by pitch, and the carousel moves around. Coming in to score on that was Gil.
So reports Joe Urban hurt his leg when he was hurt his ankle when he was running. So that's why Dylan Brochart came in for him.
So that will bring up McKenna. And McKenna hits a high pop-up to shortstop. Moving out to make the catch is Jamal Luciano, and he gets the ball in quickly, as that ball was not deep enough to score Paulos from third base. So scored an F6. Good job by Jamal Luciano getting out there in short left center field to make that catch. That is the second out of the inning now, as McKenna had led off the inning with a single. Came around to score. And that will bring up number 31, Ferrara. And Ferrara looks at ball 1 outside corner.
So we have it here that the Warriors are trailing 8-0.
9-0 at this point
9-0.
after the hit by pitch, which forced in a run.
So yesterday, that was the outcoming score of the game between these two teams at Islip. Was 9-0. Islip leading, and the Warriors falling short.
Top of the third inning, 9-0. Ferrara getting his third at-bat, second of the inning. Ferrara has 2 singles on the day. He scored 2 runs. And the pitch is swung on and fouled straight back.
Luciano with a good throw right there. Looked like he was going to throw a fast one, but slowed it down at the end.
Well, I'm not hearing you. I'm getting levels, but I'm not hearing through my headphones. Really? Yeah. So if you want to see what I'm hearing on my end, hope I'm wrong.
You're getting levels, though?
I'm getting levels,
How can that be?
but I'm not hearing through my headphones. My headphones broke.
All right.
That doesn't make any sense. Hold on.
Luciano with the pitch. Oh.
And he gets him in between the numbers, so another hits batter. And that will plate another run. As coming around to score will be the number 9 hitter, Paulos. And that's the third hits batter today for the Warriors.
Still with all bases full this time. Luciano with the pitch. Ooh, low ball.
So, Pastorana, the designated hitter, he reached on an error in the first inning and was walked in the second inning. So he's looking for his first hit of the day. He swings and hits a liner right down the line. And nice play by a fan to save a baby. And the count is 0-1.
Great reaction time by the fan. Jumped right into action. All right. He lines up to pitch.
Luciano, the 0-1 upstairs and outside. Count evens up at 1 apiece. Still bases loaded, top of the third inning. Warriors do have 2 outs, but the Buccaneers have gotten 6 runs to extend their lead to 10-0. Good cut by Pastorana, and he finds himself down in the count 1-2.
Currently on the field, we have 4 seniors.
Here's the pitch, and that ball is outside to the lefty Pastorana, and the count evens up at 2.
We have
Yeah, we're getting levels, but I don't know why I don't hear
4 seniors out on the field right now, as today is senior day at Amityville.
The 2-2, or 3-2, sorry, and that's ball 4. So another walk, another run scores, and the carousel around the bases continues. Scoring was Brochart, the pinch runner.
It's a great pitch right there.
Ryan takes strike 1. Ryan today grounded to a fielder's choice in the first inning, and earlier this inning had a base hit, would eventually come around to score.
It's another great pitch right there. It's getting into a rhythm right now.
Luciano ahead in the count, which is where you want to be. 0-2. Swung on a pop straight up, so Ryan stays alive. 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. Warriors desperately trying to get that third. Seven runs in so far here in the top of the third, 11 altogether. And there's a pop-up
Whoa.
in the infield, and Almonte looks like he's underneath it, and he can't get it.
Whoa.
Bounces over his head and falls in. It doesn't hit any leather, so they'll score that an infield single. And with 2 outs, the runners were moving on the play, so 2 runs will score, and it'll be runners on the corners with 2 outs here, and the Warriors still having a hard time getting out of this inning. And here's the pitch to Brochart. 6 hits into the inning, couple of walks to go along with that for Islip. And here's a ground ball, second base. Another try for Almonte. Bobbles it, recovers, flips it over to first, and barely get it.
The same highly addictive substance found in regular cigarettes.
Nicotine can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s,
affecting learning, memory, attention, and impulse control, and priming the brain for other addictions.
Vaping products also come in kid-friendly flavors that can make them appealing to youth.
and many kids also use other drugs, like marijuana, in vaping devices.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media.
But it's not.
So talk to your because when you they hear.
For more information, samhsa.gov.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for kids, teens, or young adults. It's just not.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals and volatile organic compounds into your body.
And nicotine, the same highly addictive substance found in regular cigarettes.
Nicotine can harm a person.
Memory, attention, and impulse control, and priming the brain for other addictions.
Vaping products also come in kid-friendly flavors that can make them appealing to youth.
And many kids also use other drugs, like marijuana, in vaping devices.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media.
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping, because when you talk, they hear you.
For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
My name is Timothy Fontaine. I'm a center fielder, and you're watching Amityville Baseball on the Amityville Warriors Network.
And welcome back here as we enter the bottom of the third inning, senior day here at Amityville Memorial High School. And the Warriors right now looking for their first hit of the day. It's the bottom of the order for Amityville. 7, 8, and 9 hitters. And that would be Aiden Fonsetto, followed by Tim Fontaine, and the DH, Kenneth Garcia. Fonsetto, who started this game for the Warriors on the mound, swings and misses and goes down. So that is actually now the 5th strikeout of the day for Max Bergen, who's looking at his 3rd inning of work. So that'll bring up Tim Fonsetto. Fonsetto, the center fielder, one of the seniors here today, looking to jumpstart this Warrior offense. Here's the pitch, and he lines a base hit into center field. First hit of the day for the Warriors. And with 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd, Amityville's got something cooking.
That was a great hit right there by number 2.
That would be Tim Fontaine with the base hit. Now the number 9 hitter hits a line drive past the reach of Ferrara at first base. So it'll be back-to-back singles for the Amityville Warriors as the DH, Kenneth Garcia, tries to keep this rally going for Amityville. We get to the top of the lineup now. 1 out. Let's see if Amityville can respond.
The Warriors looking like they're getting into a groove, and we'll see if they can continue.
So that will bring up Luciano. his first at bat, struck out looking. Runners at first and second. And Warriors aggressively swinging the ball is bobbled by the third baseman, Geel, trickles into left field, and now Amityville might have themselves in trouble as the throw comes home, and in plenty of time, that will get Tim Fontaine as he hesitated on that play, wasn't sure whether to go or not, and the Warriors unable to get a run, but it will be a base hit. You can score it 7-2 on the putout, the fielder's choice. But you do give a hit on that. And there are 2 away. Amityville still has runners first and second, and that brings up
Luciano.
That's Luciano. And that pitch is taken for a ball. So again, Garcia gets the single. And there's a strike. Count evens up at 1-1. Rodriguez, the catcher, he's the one that gets credited with the single and then the fielder's choice. And Luciano swings and misses, so now the count is 1-2. $12-0, Islip in front. That ball is outside. Count evens up 2 apiece.
We have bases 2 and 1 loaded right now. See if he can. He checks bases.
And there's a grounder into left field for a base hit. Coach Zider waving the merry-go-round. And now he puts on the brakes and another base running error for the Warriors. And Coach Zider not too pleased with that as the throw comes in. And looks like Garcia gets himself caught in a rundown. Zider was sending him all the way, but hesitating and trying to go back to third on the play. And so 2 plays that inning where the Warriors make mistakes on the base paths, and that runs them right out of the inning. So after 3 innings of play, the Warriors are able to get 3 hits, but they score no runs. They leave 1 on base, and at the end of 3 innings of play, it is Amityville trailing the Islip Buccaneers on Senior Day by a score of 12-0. We'll keep it here. Thank you for tuning in on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon on the Amityville Broadcasting Network.
Looks like Fancetto's about to pitch for the Warriors.
Interesting move by Coach Zider.
And Luciano is back at first base. So little switcheroo back to how it started off right now. As the team talks to each other to get a game plan going to stop the Islip Buccaneers.
So the Warriors actually had 4 hits in that inning and no runs to show for it. 2 runners were thrown out between third base and home plate, and you can't do that. That's just, you know, if you want to win a game, you have to be smarter. Either you're going or you're not going, and on 2 plays, Amityville base runners were indecisive, and that cost them what could have been a big inning. So the Warriors have still yet to score a run against the Islip Buccaneers in a game and almost a half. Remember, they lost yesterday 9-0. They're losing 12-0 today. The bigger story today, though, once again becomes the idea that it is, in fact, Senior Day. And for Amityville, it's a day to honor people who have put a lot of time and effort into this program. They've all gotten better over the years, and they may not have a lot of wins in the win column, but if you talk to Coach Zider, it's just a great group that work hard and never give up. And with a 12-0 deficit right now, I think you'll see that come across as they continue to play harder. At least I would expect them to.
Yes, this was a young team at one point, and they all grew together. And to see them out here now, you have a freshman pitching right now, Fancetto, which is doing an amazing job, which he's now back at pitcher.
6 hits on 7 runs on 6 hits in the third inning. We enter the top of the fourth. That was for the Buccaneers. So we'll see how Amityville responds here. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up. Gil, Paulos, and I'm assuming Brochard's going to be hitting after he pinch ran for Joe Urban last inning. Fonsetto back on the mound for the second time today. And there's a strike.
It was a great pitch by Fonsetto. Just getting back at pitching. Need a couple more of those to get their first out.
And there's a nubbler right in front of home plate. Fonsetto will field it himself, tries to apply the tag, and now it looks like the umpire saying a foul ball. Crowd is cheering behind us, but I don't think they realize that that one was called a foul ball. So getting back in the box is the number 8 hitter, Gil. And that one's in the dirt for a ball.
Really low ball right there.
Fonsetto still ahead in the count.
So it looks like he's trying to get back into the swing of things.
There's a pop-up to short right field. That might fall in no man's land, and it does, as Mejia and Alamonte both give it a look, and neither one of them able to get there in time. So it'll be a seeing eye pop-up single for the number 8 hitter, Gil, and Gil gets his first base hit of the day.
Right now for the Warriors, seems like communication is against them right now, and they need to communicate more so they can get the Islip Bucks out.
Nobody out here. Top of the fourth, Fonsetto deals to Paulos, the number 9 hitter playing center field today. Paulos looks at ball 1. Paulos grounded up to first base in the second inning, had a single in the third, and eventually came around to score. Paulos, the lefty, going against the righty, Fonsetto. Fonsetto not looking at the runner at all, throws a pitch. There's another sky-high pop-up into shallow right field. Mejia sprinting in, Almonte going back, and this one falls behind him, but Almonte heads up, throws it to second base for the force. A heads-up play for Almonte. And that'll be scored a fielder's choice. 4-5, I should say, in the scorecard. But kind of a strange play there. But good heads-up play by Almonte, not giving up on the play.
This is the Warriors' first out in this.
Throw over to first, checking on the runner, Paulos, number 9 hitter, but looks like he's got some speed over there. Top of the order now. Brochard, who came in to pinch run for Urban last inning. It looked like Joe Urban, who started off at shortstop, had turned his ankle, grounding out an infield hit. Brochard came in and ran, and he hits now at the top spot in the order. There's the pitch. Change up upstairs for a ball. Runner on first, 1 out, top of the fourth inning. Warriors trailing 12-0 here on Senior Day. Matt Grice along with Dante Rigsby, and thank you for spending your afternoon here with us on the Amityville Broadcasting Network. And that pitch is ball 4 from Fonsetto. So Brochard, with his first at-bat of the day, doesn't have to take the bat off his shoulders. And that will bring up the number 2 hitter, Hogue, who had a base hit in the first inning, came around to score, flew out in the second inning to right field, and was hit by a pitch and came around to score in the third. Runners on first and second, 1 away. Here's the pitch from Fonsetto. Rodriguez can't handle it, and the ball is called a ball inside. Count 1-0. Fonsetto sets and deals the 1-0. There's a strike inside corner. Count evens up at 1 apiece. Fonsetto trying to get into a nice rhythm, working quickly here. Not paying much attention to the base runners, but I don't know that Islip's going anywhere with a 12-0 lead. There's a fly ball into left field, and coming on is Hinton to make the call and the catch for the second out.
That was a great catch right there by Fenton.
That ball was hit fairly hard, but we mentioned it earlier, the way that Coach Zeider is shifting his outfield, Hinton is very close to the line in left field, and that's what allowed him to get over there and make the play on that line drive. That'll bring up McKenna.
Team made a lot of changes since yesterday.
McKenna looks at ball one. McKenna's been on base twice, hit by a pitch in the first inning, had a single in the third, scored 2 runs today. And there's a breaking ball. Makes McKenna's knees buckle a little bit, but doesn't quite get the inside corner of the plate. First and second, 2 away. Fonsetto deals, and that's a fly ball, pretty deep left field, but Hinton comes underneath it to make the call and the catch to end the inning. So, after 3.5 innings of play, for that inning, no runs on no hits and 2 left on base. At the end of 3.5, it's Islip 12 and the Warriors nothing here on the Amityville Broadcasting Network. And right now, Fonsetto is having a conversation with the umpires, and Coach Zeider's out there as well. I wonder if they're talking about his delivery to the plate. Perhaps Fonsetto, they're concerned that he's balking on the play, which is possible.
All right.
So the Warriors were able to get something going offensively last inning. 4 hits, but nothing to show for it. Due up for Amityville, their number 3, 4, and 5 hitters. It's Jabwin, Luciano, and Almonte. And Amityville's got to build off of their momentum. It looks like they were seeing Matt Burgeon a little better second time through the lineup. But Burgeon's done a pretty good job so far. He does have 5 strikeouts in just 3 innings. The only 2 outs, or I should say the only 4 outs not by strikeout. A pop-up, a fly-out to center field, and then the other 2 outs we talked about last inning were 2 Warriors getting caught in no man's land between third base and home plate, getting tagged out, which is something you cannot do, especially when you're struggling to score runs. So, Jabwin comes up. He steps in the box. Burgeon is on the mound, and we are set for the bottom of the 4th inning. And breaking ball way out in front of it was Jabrin, and the count is 0-1. Jabwin back in the box. His first at-bat flew out to center field. Here's the pitch. Strike, low outside corner. And Jabwin's going to have to protect the plate now, down 0-2 in the count. Burgeon deals in the dirt, 1-2. The entire Warrior bench up against the fence, cheering on their player, looking to get a rally started here. Senior day. And the 1-2. And Jabwin able to not chase that ball high and outside. Count evens up at 2 apiece. And the pitch. Fastball upstairs, and count goes full. Now, if you're Jabwin, this is a great at-bat going from 0-2 to 3-2. But you don't want to get complacent up there. Anything close, you still have to protect. As here's the pitch. Swung on it, hit in the air down the left field line. That's chasing the left fielder. Is it a fair or foul ball? And it is a foul ball. Good cut on the ball by Jabwin. That one just a couple of feet foul as Brochart, the senior, chasing that one down. So we'll do it again. Another 3-2 count as Jabwin battling back from being down 0-2. Gets a good swing on that one, just a little bit out in front. See if Bergen tries to speed up Jabwin's batted it all here with a fastball after that off-speed pitch. But we do it again, as here is the 3-2. Bergen deals. Inside corner, called strike 3. Delayed call by the umpire, and Jabwin takes a seat for the first out of the inning. 6 strikeouts now for Max Bergen, the junior, and that will bring up Luciano. Luciano, who briefly came into pitch, chases a fastball outside. Good job by the Warriors being aggressive up there, but you still need to be choosy on what pitches you're swinging at. That one out of the zone. This time he makes contact, grounder right back to Bergen. He takes 3 steps, tosses it over to Ferrara at first for the easy out. Score it 1-3 on your scorecard, and there are 2 away here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 12-0, Buccaneers out in front on senior day. And that'll bring up Almonte. Almonte struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. See if the Warriors can get something cooking with 2 outs and nobody on. There's the pitch, and low for a ball. Count 1-0. Bergen sets and deals. And he's got these Warrior hitters way out in front on the breaking ball and the changeup as Almonte waves and misses. Count evened up at 1. Almonte deals, and a pop-up behind home plate towards the Warrior bench. So the count is 1-2, and you can see once again the Warriors, they need to stay back on what Bergen is throwing. They're way out in front of his stuff, and it shows you that he's doing a good job of changing speeds and keeping these Warrior hitters off balance. So now the 1-2 to Almonte. Fastball grounded towards third base, fielded by Giel. He steps and fires across the diamond in time to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. And after 4 innings of play, the Warriors trailing the Buccaneers here on Senior Day, the Amityville Broadcasting Network. We'll be back right after this.
Kids want to share what's going on in their lives with the adults around them. Parents, grandparents, teachers, coaches, and more. They want to know you're listening, and they want to listen to you. They want your input and guidance, early and often, on all kinds of topics. When it comes to a serious subject like underage drinking, they want to know your expectations, as well as how and why as a young person they should avoid alcohol. How you talk about it will change as your child grows, but the important thing is to talk about it. Not just once for an hour when you think the time is right, but in 60 one-minute conversations and more that are part of your everyday talks. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
When you need me, I'll be by your side.
Welcome back to Senior Day here on the Amityville Broadcasting Network. Matt Grice, Dante Rigsby. Warriors trailing the Buccaneers 12-0 as we enter the top of the 5th inning. Game moving right along. And Aiden Fonsetto back to the hill for his sort of 4th inning of work. He was pulled out for a little while and then reinserted back into the game after Luciano had himself a few batters. But it'll be the number 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for the Buccaneers this inning. That'll be Ferrara, Pastorana, and Ryan.
I just want to recap really quickly on the Buccaneers. They did a great job and good job at field awareness on that last fielding. to get the Warriors out. So it was a great job on their end. All right, we have a batter up. Seta.
Here's the first pitch, and that's a strike to Ferrara. Ferrara on the day has 2 singles. He's reached base 3 times after getting hit by a pitch last inning.
Oh.
And it's a fly ball. It's going to get past Hinton in left field, and he throws up his hands for a ground rule double as the ball goes under the fence. So a leadoff double on base for the 4th time today is Ferrara. And right off the bat, it looks like, once again, the Buccaneers trying to get some guys on the base paths and plate some runs. It is senior day here, and we have a special treat right now as we actually are going to bring on a couple of former seniors, former players here at Amityville High School. Juan Reyes, Asher Hassan. Guys, it's so great to see you, first of all. But second of all, it's been a long time, but how does it feel to come back here on senior day as that pitch is fouled straight back and watch some of your old teammates out there at it again?
Ash, you want to go first?
Yeah, thank you for having us, Bryce. I mean, it's been awesome. You know, always love to come out. It's wonderful weather, and the baseball feels looking just as good as we left it. And the players as well. I mean, always good to see our coach, good to see how we played, how they're playing. But it's, you know, we're keeping the Amityville spirit alive, and you know, we want them to have the good win and bring it home for us.
Pastorana, the designated hitter. He's been aboard twice. He's walked twice, reached on an error. As Fonsetto deals. Breaking ball upstairs for a ball. So it's senior day here. You guys graduated freshman memory 3 years ago?
Yeah, about 3 years.
3 years ago, right? So we'll talk about what you guys are doing with your lives in just a second as Fonsetto looks the runner back to second base. But what are some of your memories from your senior day? Because as players in this program, I'm sure that was a special day for you.
It was definitely sad. You know, you don't want to leave your turf after 4 years of playing baseball. So it's always definitely sad that it's our home game, last home game, and we weren't going to get the same players, same experiences, same coach in the future. So definitely for me, after Amityville baseball, I haven't played, but it was definitely an experience we left behind that we're pretty sad about.
Pastorano reaches on the E6. Jamal Luciano couldn't handle the ground ball cleanly. He throws it over to first, but it was a bit wide of the bag. Good job by Jeremiah Luciano preventing that ball from becoming a dead ball and going out of play, as there's a strike to Ryan, but scored an error. There's runners at the corners, nobody out. What about you, Juan? What do you remember? What are some fond memories of senior day as Fonsetto throws the pitch to Ryan, and it's hit foul down the right field line? Giving a quick look was Luciano, but no chance.
Honestly, guys, it's a little heartbreaking right now because it's a little like PTSD right now. So I'm definitely getting the nostalgic feel of coming back, and they're definitely playing tough right now. They're definitely playing a tough game right now, and they're playing their heart out. So we could definitely see it from them.
What was the mindset for you guys when you were here? Because you had some close games, some fun games. You had some wild ones also, some blowouts.
Yeah.
But one of the things that I noticed that this team does, and teams in the past did as well, is you always play hard. You always go out there with a smile. You know, how difficult was it, or how did you guys? Here's a ground ball to shortstop, another chance for Luciano. Hits second base for one, back to first, and that will pull Luciano off the bag at first. But they do get the lead runner at second. One run does come around to score as Ferrara makes it a 13-0 game. But score that a fielder's choice, 6-4 on the putout. Yeah, so how would you guys go about keeping your heads in the game when things got out of hand?
We definitely came out on the field to have fun. Every single game, our coaches reminded us we're here to have fun. And every day we got better and better. It showed in every one of our players. And it was mostly we're here for the fun of it. You know, year after year, no matter how many losses we got, no matter how many, whatever the score was, at the end of the day, we always came back with a smile on our face, ready to go for the next game. So it was never a bad game for us. It was always a memory to keep, and it was always a new game, new beginning to next day.
Looks like Jeremiah Luciano a little shaken up on that play. Really had to stretch to keep that ball from going out of play into the stands. But after a brief talk with Coach Zeider, he appears to be all right. And we are back ready to go. So the runner on first, 1 out, 1 run in, and it will be the number 7 hitter, Brochart, who swings and foul tips it, and the count is 0-1. So how has baseball impacted your lives post Amityville? Have you played it all? Have you been fans? Have you gone to any games? Have you not been involved in it at all? There's a fastball upstairs, 1-1.
I mean, I've been coming to a few of the games here past weeks. But other than that, me and my friends just go out sometimes. It's been a while, but we used to go out, throw some pitches, and get some hits in. But nothing too crazy. No baseball games as much. But, you know, that's all. That's as much for me.
I mean, for me, my cousin, he plays in college, so I definitely keep up with his team. And I throw the ball around here and there, but nothing too serious. But baseball has definitely taught me and made me the man I am today. Definitely played a role. I don't know how you feel, Ash, about that. But, yeah, sometimes, losing games and stuff isn't the greatest, but you just keep your head down and just keep working, it's just fun. It's a fun journey, definitely, for sure.
2-2 to Brochart. Runner on first, 1 run in, 1 out here. So what are you guys up to these days? You in school? You working? What's going on in your lives?
For me, making movies. It's a whole 180 around.
Taking life more seriously, huh?
Yeah, it was time after high school. It was put my big boy pants on, and I was like, I gotta figure out what I want to do. And took a couple tries, but I figured out that filmmaking is what I want to do.
Nasty breaking ball by Fonsetto. Brochart caught with his knees buckling, so he goes down looking. That would be the first strikeout of the game for Fonsetto, and there are 2 away now with the number 8 hitter, Gil, coming up to bat. Gil looking for his first time getting on base. He has grounded out in all 3 of his at-bats as he looks at ball 1 on the outside of the plate. What about you, Asher? What are you up to these days?
Well, I'm currently in my 3rd year of computer science, and I started a company as well, an import-export company. So I've been busy in that, and it's going good so far. I mean, it's been busy. Internship this summer, so it's been pretty good.
And so an entrepreneur, who knew,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, man of many talents.
Actually, well, it's, I had the pleasure as that ball is outside of being their teacher as well. And although many funny memories of the 2 class clowns, they're both very intelligent. And to see you guys back here and knowing that you're having success in your life is fantastic.
Yeah, definitely.
We appreciate you joining us here.
Yeah, no problem.
So you think you can still do it if we put you out there right now, or have you lost a step?
I'd get 5 steps in, then fall.
Yeah, I think my back would give out.
Fastball inside. I don't think you guys are quite that old yet. What are you, 21?
20, just turned 21 recently.
Just turned 21. Wow, time flies. You guys got out of here right before COVID hit. Yeah, you were lucky.
Yeah.
There's a strike by Fonsetto.
Definitely bright pitcher. He's definitely to come. What grade's he in?
He's a freshman.
He's a freshman.
He's a freshman. So runner goes. Hit and run, grounded towards third, fielded by Jabwin. Throws across the diamond in time. Luciano stretching. Seems to have no problem on that leg. And that'll do it here for the top of the 5th inning. 1 run on 1 hit, 1 left on base. And right now, on senior day, the Amityville Warriors find themselves trailing 13-0. Guys, it was so great seeing you. Thank you for a few minutes of your time, and nothing but continued success in whatever you choose to do with your lives.
Always.
No problem. Go enjoy the games. So, bottom of the 5th inning, Dante, and it seems like things have calmed down here a little bit. The bleeding has been stopped, but the Warriors have to get their offense going.
Yeah, so far we're seeing great pitches out of Fonsetto. He striked out his first guy, so we're gonna see. Hopefully, he keeps up his with his pitching. And as we have the Warriors right now coming up to bat, we have to see them start playing like they want to win it. They haven't had a good start so far, so moving forward, they're talking as a team right now to come up with a game plan to strike back at the Islip Buccaneers.
So far on the day for the Buccaneers, they have 13 runs on 10 hits. Amityville, on the other hand, Amityville has 4 hits, all coming back in the 3rd inning, but no runs to show for it. 2 base running mistakes between 3rd and home as the Warriors got thrown out. But if that did anything for them, it should show them that they can do this. And they've seemed to have more success when they've been aggressive early in the count. Swinging the bat, getting the bat on the ball. Max Bergen has been very good. He's not really throwing gas, but he does have 6 strikeouts of the Warriors. So we'll have to see as they go through the order a second time. And then a third time, hopefully, if the Warriors do a better job of timing Bergen. But due up for Amityville will be the 7, 8, 9 hitters.
So far, Bergen's been showing different looks as he thrown fastballs and slowed it up.
6, 7, 8, I should say. I apologize. Hinton leading off. It'll be Fonsetto next. And then Fontaine.
Close ball right there.
So Hinton ahead in the count. He struck out swinging back in the 2nd inning. And now we get a swinging strike, and the count evens at 1 apiece. The 1-1 from the lefty, outside, 2-1. Again, the entire Warrior bench up on their feet, cheering on their teammate, despite the fact that they are trailing 13-0. Here's a pitch, pops straight up in the air. Bergen giving it a look, a long run, and that will fall harmlessly out of play. So the count evens up at 2-2. Bottom of the 5th inning here at Amityville Memorial High School. It's senior day. And the Warriors trail the Buccaneers 13-0. They lost yesterday in the first game of this series. Is just getting a piece of it was Hinton to stay alive. Count remains at 2-2. A lot of good feeling coming into today's game that the Warriors had a good chance of getting their first win in 7 seasons. 2 bad innings of what have done them in. The rest of the time, they've actually played very well, but they still need to get the offense going. Warriors, as that ball is outside, the count goes full. 3-2 to Hinton. Warriors still looking for their first run of the series and what will be their final series of the season. There's the pitch, and it's a breaking ball. Swung on and missed, so Hinton goes down swinging for the 2nd time today, and that'll bring up the number 7 hitter and starting pitcher, Aiden Fonsetto. Let's see if he can help himself out here. Fonsetto also struck out in the 3rd inning, struck out swinging as he swings and misses at the first pitch. Bergen deals the 0-1, swung on and missed. Fonsetto way out in front of that, and the count 0-2. And this gives Bergen a lot of flexibility in terms of what he wants to do on this next pitch here. Fonsetto has to be aware that he's got to protect the zone. And 3 swings and misses. Fonsetto goes down swinging for the 2nd time today. 8 strikeouts for Bergen altogether. And that will bring up the number 8 hitter, senior Tim Fontaine. Now, Fontaine had a base hit to get the rally started for the Warriors back in the 3rd inning. And he swings at the first pitch and sends a high fly ball into center field. That will split the outfielders. Paulos ends up picking it up, and Fontaine will jog into second base with a double and his 2nd hit of the game. So the senior having a big day on senior day, trying to get the Warriors going here. And Amityville has a runner in scoring position with 2 away, and the number 9 hitter, the designated hitter, Kenneth Garcia, in the box. Garcia waves at the first pitch and comes up empty, 0-1. Garcia, he had a base hit also in that 3rd inning. So it was a single for Fontaine, followed by a single by Garcia. 2 more hits would follow, and base running blunders would end up hurting the Warriors as there's another strike. So Garcia, the number 9 hitter, finds himself in the hole, 0-2, with Fontaine leading off second base. 2 away here, bottom of the 5th. Warriors trailing 13-0, and Garcia looked like he was trying to check his swing, unable to hold up. So the umpire punches him out. 3 strikeouts in the inning. 9 altogether for Max Bergen. And at the end of 5 innings of play here on Senior Day at Amityville Memorial High School, the Warriors find themselves in the hole by a score of 13-0.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. And we tell them with honest conversations that let them know what we expect. Not just one time, but every chance we get. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. Kids not only need to know the dangers and how to avoid them, they need to hear it often from you. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be taken without a prescription and never shared with friends or family. It's dangerous and illegal. So talk with your kids and guide them through the challenges of growing up safe and healthy. Because when you talk, they hear you. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
So talk back here. You can do it if you try.
This is Randy Rodriguez, and I'm the pitcher and catcher. You're watching Amityville Baseball on the Amityville Broadcasting Network.
5 innings in the books, 2 to go. Senior Day, Warriors trailing 13-0. First pitch of the inning is a fly ball in a shallow center field. Fontaine can't get there. And going into second base for a leadoff double will be the number 8 hitter, Gio. And that's how things start here in the top of the 6th inning. Fonsetto still on the mound, the freshman. Came out briefly for Jeremiah Luciano, but he's been placed back on the mound. Gio reaches base for, or actually I should say, that was, we got some changes here that we're going to have to update you on. And there's a ground ball to second base, fielded by Almonte, throws across the diamond at first in time. Runner advances to third. So Paulos, I apologize, ended up having the single. And Brochart, who had come into the game for Joe Urban, pinch running after he hurt himself, he grounds out there. First pitch swinging, grounder towards shortstop, booted by Jamal Luciano. The run will score, and reaching base safely on the E6 will be Brochart.
So that will leave us the Warriors trailing 14 now, I believe.
14-0.
14-0.
And
great.
Sorry, Dante.
I was going to say great field awareness for Fonsetto, seeing that the base runner was off the base.
So that brings up the number 3 hitter, McKenna. Grounder to second base. Almonte scoops it up and flips it over to Luciano, who is covering. Smart play to get the lead runner. And there are 2 away.
So we can see the Warriors are actually doing a lot better now in the 6th inning than the previous ones. 2 outs so far and 1 runner on first base.
So with 2 away, runner on first, that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Ferrara. Ferrara has been on base all 3 times. He scored 3 runs, and he gets hit with that pitch. It's actually his 2nd time getting hit today, so he is now on base 5 times in the ball game. Right before that, Coach Zeider came out to check on Fonsetto, make sure he still has enough gas in the tank. There's the pitch, and it's low and away, 0-1 to the designated hitter, Pastorana. Pastorana does not have a hit today, but he has been on base 4 times, 2 walks, 2 errors. He scored a run. And the count 2-0. 2 away here, top of the 6th inning. Fonsetto deals that pitch in the dirt. Good stop by Rodriguez behind the plate. There is an open base here. We'll see how Fonsetto chooses to attack Pastorana. There's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and hit in the air to center field. Fontaine camps under it, makes the catch, and that will retire the side. 1 run on 1 hit and 2 left. And at the end of 5 1/2, it is 14-0. Islip in front of the Warriors. So as we enter, Dante, the bottom of the 6th inning, what do the Warriors have to do? Obviously, you know, they're very far behind, but what would you like to see them do with the bottom half of their inning?
So, like you mentioned before in the bottom of the 5th inning, that they need to know when to swing and not to know when it's too far ahead of them. That's their biggest thing, and they need to get their offense clicking coming into the 7th inning. So, first batter is...
So it'll actually be for the Warriors. It'll be the top of the order. It'll be
Rodriguez.
1, 2, and 3. Randy Rodriguez leading off. Jamal Luciano batting second. And Elijah Jabwin batting third. See if Amityville can get something going. Amityville's best chance was back in the 3rd inning when they did actually have 4 hits, but no runs to show for it. Bottom of the 6th inning. We are all set to go here on Senior Day. Don't go anywhere at the end of this one, though, as we will have the entire Senior Day celebration for you. And first pitch swing by Rodriguez, and he gets a base hit to left field on Senior Day. His 2nd hit of the game. And the Warriors, for the, let's see here, for the first time this game, have their leadoff hitter on base.
So we just talked about how the Warriors need to get their offense clicking, and so far they're off to a good start.
Ball outside to Luciano. The senior Rodriguez on first. This could be his last time on the base paths at home, depending on what the Warriors can do for a rally, as Bergen deals in the dirt for a ball. Rodriguez, small lead at first with the lefty on the mound as that fastball is upstairs. And the count is, it's 2-1. Might be 3-0. No scoreboards here, as there's the pitch way inside, and it was 3-0. So Amityville's got something cooking here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Luciano walks. Rodriguez moves to second after the base hit. And that will bring up the number 3 hitter, Jabwin. And he flew out to center field back in the 1st inning, struck out looking in the 4th. First pitch is Bergen's working quickly here. That's in the dirt, 1-0.
All right, Bourbon's getting all the bases right now. Looking to see if he can get any runner.
And there's a liner into left field. That falls in for a base hit and goes all the way to the wall. Rodriguez rounds third. He will score. Rounding third base now is Luciano. Here's the throw. Here's the play at the plate. And he's out at the plate. But it will be an RBI double for the number 3 hitter, Elijah Jabwin. 1 run does score for Amityville, but for the 3rd time this game, a runner gets thrown out between third base and home plate. But the Warriors are on the board for the first time in this series as they cut into this lead. It is now 14-1.
I think that was a good call by the coach to flag his runners to runners to keep going. Unfortunately, he couldn't get there on time. He was right at the base as soon as he caught the ball. So he was a little bit quicker. Whoa.
Yes, I agree with you. That's the right move by Coach Zeider. You're trying to get something going with your offense. There's the pitch way out in front of it. It's the cleanup hitter, Luciano. This is Jeremiah Luciano, who's been all over the place for the Warriors today. He played first. He pitched a little bit, went back to first base. He's made a couple of big stretches. And so far today, he struck out swinging back in the second and grounded out to first base. There's a pop-up straight up in the air and out of play behind home plate. So Luciano behind in the count, 0-2.
Great hustle by the ice slip to try to get to the ball, even though it was out of bounds.
1 run in on 2 hits so far for the Warriors here. Bottom of 6. Warriors trailing by 13. Good cut by Luciano as that one's fouled straight back. And the count remains 0-2. Bergen, who's been in this game the whole time, 9 strikeouts. There's a liner right up the middle for a base hit. Rounding third base and staying there as a good throw was put in by Paulos. Rounding third and staying on third base was Jabwin.
That was a smart call, smart move to stay on third base. We don't want another out in from third base.
So Luciano gets his first hit of the day, and that will put runners at the corners and Alamonte up at the plate for the Warriors. Bergen throws outside, and the count 1-0. So the crowd getting into it here as Warriors able to get on the board. Here's a little pop fly into left field, and it's going to be a foul ball as Brochart gives it a look. Peter Brochart, who's out in left field, is a senior. The only other senior on this team was actually Joe Urban, who started the day at shortstop, but came out of the game for Brochart's cousin. As here's a pop-up right to us, and this one is a dead ball out of play. Our third souvenir of the day, Dante.
Should have caught it. Came right towards you.
Don't worry, I would have protected you.
Oh, thank you.
So Alamonte steps back in, looking to keep this rally going for the Warriors. Fastball, line right to third base, and there's a double play. Nice play by Geel, making the catch on the liner, and catching Jabwin off of third base, and that will end the inning.
Batted the ball right into his glove.
So that's a double play, and at the end of 6 innings of play here, it is 14-1. Warriors getting on the board. Warriors 1 run on 2 hits, 2 left on base, or 1 left on base, I should say, after the double play. We're going to keep it right here, not go to break, as we enter the 7th and final inning of the final game of the 2022 season for the Amityville Warriors baseball team, and we will be honoring the seniors after the game. And Aiden Fonsetto back to the hill. Coach Zeider wants him to finish this thing out. So Fonsetto takes his warm-ups. I'm sure the Warriors want nothing more than a quick inning to try to get one more crack at some fireworks, putting up a crooked number in the bottom of the 7th inning. Right now, Amityville trails 14-1, but they have been doing better as the game has been going on, as Rodriguez throws down a second, and we are all set to go.
Okay, ready? I'm going to you.
Top of the 7th inning. It'll be Ryan leading off, the number 6 hitter, followed by Brochart and Geel. So 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Buccaneers. Ryan on the day had a ground out, fielder's choice. A base hit, came around to score a run in the 3rd inning, as there's a grounder down the 3rd baseline foul, 0-1. Had a base hit also in the 3rd inning as the Buccaneers batted around, and then grounded into another fielder's choice back in the 5th. So Ryan's been putting the bat on the ball today, but still searching for his first hit. And here's the pitch, swung on and hit in the air to center field. Fontaine camps underneath it and makes the grab, and quick out here in the top of the 6th. Top of the 7th, excuse me. We're moving right along here. Tim Fontaine, he's a senior, and he's been very good in center field today, catching everything that's gone his way. At least 3 or 4 fly balls out in the center field as Brochart, the left fielder, comes up. He is a senior and looks at a ball under his chin for ball 1. Fonsetto deals, and that ball floats outside for ball 2. Looks like Fonsetto's velocity has been pulled back just a little bit. You have to wonder if fatigue is perhaps setting in, as that one is in the dirt. Fonsetto looking displeased with himself. Fonsetto's been very good when he's been able to throw strikes. It's when he's put people on base via the walk or the hit batter where they've had trouble, and that one is inside for a ball. So Brochart is on first with the walk. 1 away here, top of the 7th inning. Warriors trail the Buccaneers 14-1.
On senior day, we have a great turnout by fans and family for the seniors at the Warriors High School. So it's good to see the support by the community. Oh.
Throw over to first. Nothing happening over there.
Fonsetto looks a little tired right now after playing 6 straight.
Fonsetto sets and deals. There's a strike on the inside corner. Pitch is nubbed foul right in front of home plate. So now Fonsetto back ahead in the count once again. Actually, we have a pinch hitter up right now as Jake Linskog is batting. There's a pitch inside. So Linskog is hitting for Geel. So Geel is out of the game. And there's a pitch, breaking ball, but only travels about 58 feet. Linskog, fresh off the bench, able to lay off that. And Fonsetto deals. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, so Fonsetto gets his 2nd strikeout of the game. First swinging and miss strikeout, and there are 2 away. With a runner on first, top of the 7th inning, 14-1 Warriors trail, and that brings up the number 9 hitter, Paulos. And first pitch off the fist, gonna dunk in for a hit, fair ball down the left field line, and Hinton makes sure to get that ball in quickly and keep the lead runner at second base. So a bloop single. Paulos didn't hit that ball very hard, but that's baseball. Sometimes it's all it takes. Finds a little green grass, and with 2 outs, Buccaneers have something cooking here in the top of the 7th. That'll bring us back to the top of the order. Brochart getting his 3rd at-bat now after coming in for the injured Joe Urban. He looks at ball 1. Fonsetto deals. Fastball hits the outside corner, and the count evens up at 1 apiece. Fonsetto working quickly here. And now steps off, looks the runner back to second base. That one's a ball. So Fonsetto, you know he wants to finish this game badly. Does he have enough in the tank to do it? Curveball, and this one kind of hangs up there and doesn't curve. And if you're going to get plunked, that's the way to do it. Brochard takes a very slow breaking ball off the elbow. But that's okay because there's a base open, or at least there was. But now that's going to load him up with 2 outs, and Coach Zeider coming out to the mound. We'll have to see if he's going to make the change, and it looks like he will. So Fonsetto's day is done as he's able to pitch 2 outs into the top of the 7th. It looks like Fonsetto will return to first base, and Luciano will come back in to pitch. So this is what we saw earlier in the game. Luciano wasn't in there very long. Had a slightly difficult time throwing strikes, but actually was able to bounce back from that, and he'll get his warm-up tosses. His goal right now, as Coach Zeider tosses him, is a different glove. He's going from his first baseman's mitt to his regular fielding glove. His job is to try to just get 1 out here. Force at any base. There's 2 away. Bases loaded. Don't let any more damage come in. If you can get an out on this next batter, which would be the number 2 hitter in the lineup, Haug, then you've done your job. So we'll have to see. Keep mentioning how it's senior day. After the conclusion of this game, we will bring you full coverage of the ceremony as Coach Jack Zeider honors his seniors today, playing their last home game. And the list of seniors, there are 5 of them. Jamal Luciano, Randy Rodriguez, Tim Fontaine, Jaden Davis, and Kyle Aluka. Kyle Aluka and Jaden Davis haven't gotten any playing time yet. We'll see if Coach Zeider tries to get them in at bat. Due up for the Warriors in the bottom half of the inning will be Hinton, Fonsetto, and Tim Fontaine. So it looks like Fontaine will get one more crack at it. Fontaine 2 hits today, a single and a double. But first things first, the Warriors have to find a way to get out of this half inning. They're in a bit of a jam as Jeremiah Luciano on the hill for the Warriors. It's bases loaded, 2 out, top of the 7th inning. Warriors trailing 14-1. Can Luciano get out of it? Haug's going to try and make sure that he can't. Haug today has a base hit as he looks at ball 1 in the dirt. And you don't want to get behind here, Dante, because there is no place to put Haug. He's flown out twice. Once to right field, once to left field. Reached on a hit by pitch as there's another ball, 2-0. And also reached on an error back in the 6th inning.
I think it was a smart choice for the coach to do the switch. Instead of looked pretty tired pitching the ball. So I think it was a smart move for the coach to switch them out.
I agree, Dante. He definitely looked gassed as here's the pitch and swung on and grounded weakly towards third. Fielded by Jibwin. And he takes the easy play, steps on third base. So Luciano gets the job done. Comes in bases loaded, 2 outs. Does not allow a run. And after that half inning, no runs on 1 hit and 3 left. At the end of 6.5, it's 14-1 Islip in front of the Amityville Warriors. And now we go to the bottom of the 7th inning in what will most likely be the last half inning, last at-bats at home for the Warriors this season. Amityville does have 1 more game against Islip to complete the series. Remember, they lost yesterday by a final score of 9-0. They're trailing 14-1 today. But we'll see how Coach Zeider decides to do this, and I'm going to bet that everybody in a white jersey is going to be up on the fence. We know for sure that Tim Fontaine is due up this inning.
He had a couple great plays. Good, got 3 outs, 2 outs.
Fontaine's line, well, we'll take you through it. Right now, due up for the Warriors is Hinton, Fonsetto, and Fontaine. Hinton struck out swinging twice. Fonsetto is struck out swinging twice. So neither one of them will put the ball in play yet today. But Fontaine had a single back in the third inning, was thrown out trying to score.
Hesitated on the run.
And then had a double in the fifth inning. The only run today was scored by senior Randy Rodriguez. He's the leadoff hitter today for the Warriors. But coming up to bat right now, we do have a pinch hitter, and it's going to be Jaden Davis, a senior. So the entire Warrior bench cheering for Jaden as he waves at strike one. Jaden may not necessarily see a lot of playing time, but a popular player on this team, very well liked by his teammates, a leader, and somebody that I'm sure the Warriors will miss next season. There's a pitch outside, and the count evens up at 1. So this is your senior day at bat for Jaden Davis. And he looks at a strike on the inside corner, and now Davis is behind in the count 1-2. And if you're Davis, especially because this is probably the only at-bat you're going to get, you have to be aggressive here. Anything close. There's the pitch, and he swings and misses. So Davis goes down, but he goes down swinging in what will most likely be his final at-bat here at home. And that brings up another pinch hitter. And I believe this is Aloka. So Kyle Aloka, maybe not actually. Hold on a second. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Mason Rosario. Mason Rosario getting the at bat as he swings and misses. Maybe foul tips that. Rosario hitting for Fonsetto. So Fonsetto, who pitched most of this game, pitched pretty well. Finishes with 2 strikeouts, and there's a swing and a miss. So 2 pinch hitters both go down swinging as Rosario goes down swinging. And with 2 away, the Warriors are down to their final out, and that brings up senior center fielder Tim Fontaine. 2 hits in the game. Would love to go 3 for 3 in his final action here in Amityville. Max Bergen trying to finish this one out as Rodriguez chases one way out of the zone over his head. Maybe a little over anxious there, and the count is 0-1. Pitch from Bergen, and it's grounded towards third and over the glove of Geel. So Rodriguez reaches for the 3rd time today. I'm sorry, not Rodriguez. Fontaine reaches for the 3rd time today. That one will be an E5, though, error on the third baseman. And that brings up Garcia. Garcia swings at the first pitch, right over the pitcher's head, fielded by Brochard across the diamond in time. Nice play to end the game. Score that 6-3. So the Warriors fall short in their senior day contest by a final score of 14-1, but give them credit as they did not start out well. They gave up 4 runs in the top of the first. The big Amityville inning, as they sometimes refer to it, was in the 3rd. 8 runs crossed the plate, and that was really the game. 2 bad innings, and that is what doomed the Warriors, but give them a lot of credit. We were talking with 2 of the alumni before, Juan Reyes and Asher Hassan, and they talked about when they were players here, Dante, and how no matter what, they kept going out there, kept trying to have as much fun as possible, never giving up, never quitting on themselves or their teammates. And that comes right from coaching, right from head coach Jack Zeiter. And this team this year, the exact same thing. You would not have known that the score was 14-1 going into that final inning. But the Warriors hang on. They battle. Came up a little short in the final inning. And the final score, they fall 14-1. But again, don't go anywhere. Our coverage is not over, as it is senior day, and we look forward to honoring the seniors as Coach Zeiter will present them with a few words and possibly some rewards. And hopefully we'll get a few interviews as well. But a little sad, I'm sure, for the seniors as they know that this concludes their time here at Amityville, at least on their home field. But again, they played hard, and actually, we have Jaden Davis, who's one of the seniors. He's actually he's going to be honored in just a little bit but he comes over here now and joins us. Jaden, if you want to pop on for a second. So we're just waiting for Jaden to put his headset on. So just throw that on for us.
Hello, hello, hello.
All right, Jaden. So first off, bittersweet, I'm sure, but congratulations on a great career here. How important was it for you to get that final at bat to get a chance to go up there?
You know, it felt really good, especially knowing that we're all a family together. You know, Amityville. Especially, I'm representing 2022.
You got the 22 jersey, yeah.
Yup.
Graduating in 2022.
Indeed.
So, you have one game left.
Yup.
What would you like to see happen for you personally and for your team in their final game?
You know, I hope we get a win this year. I really hope for a win. It's going to be a good game, going against the same team. Very welcome. And that's basically
I think he was thanking the broadcasters, but
yeah, he's thanking us. Don't take our credit.
but it's okay, Jaden. We'll give you some credit here.
All right.
Final question. Actually, you know what? Your coach wants you, so you know what? We're going to send you over, let you celebrate with your teammates. We wish you the best of luck in your final game. Make sure you go out there, have fun. Don't forget, play the game hard, do exactly what it is that you're doing. But thanks for a few minutes.
Very welcome.
All right, so again, the Warriors fall by a final score of 14-1, but we are going to start our senior day ceremony right now. We just need to get Coach Zeiter mic'd up, but we will get that all to you in just a second. Now join Coach Zeiter in progress.
We're really happy to have them all here. You know, we do a lot of things together in 10 weeks. A lot of laughs, especially when Whelmy's talking. You know, but we have a good time, and they really come together despite the losing. And not a lot of other 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds can do that. You know, these guys, they lose with class. We're not proud of losing, but we are proud that they play the game the right way, and everybody notices it. We're going to start with a couple of guys who are relatively new. The newest is Jaden Davis. Come on up, Jaden. Jaden Davis is senior. I've known Jaden for the last 4 years. New to baseball. He just came up in the fall and said, "Coach, I want to play baseball this year." I said, "Really?" And I was really happy because Jaden's a great kid. And more than anything, I just want our team to be a bunch of great guys. And Jaden is that. And we're going to miss his presence on the team. He works hard. He sends us his work schedule every week, and he's always here and makes every effort to be a part of the team, and we love having him around. We're going to miss him. So thank you, Jaden.
All right, Jaden.
No, you take that. That's for you to keep. Next guy is not new this year, but relatively new, and that's Kyle Aloka. So Kyle was on the JV team last year, and he's improved drastically. You know, for a guy that didn't consider himself to be a baseball player when he started high school, soccer goalie, if I remember correctly, right? You know, that says a lot. There's an athlete in there, and he tries very hard, and it means a lot to him. And he brings a good presence, very calming presence to the team, and we're going to miss that very much. So, Kyle, thank you. We're going to go with a new captain as of yesterday, Timmy Fontaine. So, Timmy Fontaine gave up his number. He's usually number 9, but Timmy gave up his number in memory of Lazar LaPena, the 10-year-old boy who lost his life. Clap it up for Timmy. And that's, hey, come back. That's why we're wearing the red and white on the left arm today. We have his number and his initials. You know, and it's a learning moment for the boys because they know playing this game that there's a lot more to life than baseball. But, you know, cherish the time that you have. And Timmy's brought a lot to the table. You saw that today for a guy who did not consider himself to be a baseball player pre-COVID. And I know that COVID affected so many people negatively, but if there's a bright spot, Timmy is one of them, because he came out for the baseball team after, because he just wanted something to do. That was fun, and he's good at it. And I just wish that we had more time with him. So we will miss you greatly. Great job, Tim. Randy Rodriguez. Randy Rodriguez is the human Swiss Army knife. He does everything. Everything. Captain of the team. Middle school baseball, JV baseball. Made the varsity team as a sophomore before COVID hit and our season was canceled. Just hardworking, unbelievable kid. He's looking at me because he wants me to cry. Randy works incredibly hard in the classroom. He works so hard to be a good baseball player, and it really shows because he is very good. And we're going to miss everything that he does, because today, if I needed him to, he could have played all 9 positions. And he could have played them very well. We will not be able to replace him. You'll get it. All right, we'll miss you, Randy. Thank you. Okay? Come on. You know who you're next. The best part about Jamal is that when he walks off the field, he usually looks like that. He's been playing baseball with us since the 8th grade on the varsity level, 5 years. He, 6th grade, 7th grade, walking up, wanted to try playing basketball for me because I was the middle school basketball coach at the time. And he was just like, "Coach, let's go. I want to play. I want to play. Let's go. Let's go." Same attitude. I love it. We need more of it. He's passionate about everything. You know, his younger brother's on the team. And I know that you're going to miss him. And just another guy that you can't replace. That's it. He's like family, and that's all I got. Big thank you, obviously, to the parents, everybody in the school who comes out to support us, Mr. Grice, Mr. Chimino, the broadcasting crew. Big shout out to Howard Reiner and Bobby. The unsung heroes of this whole team. They give up so much time for these guys. And, you know, we got a really good group of young, talented baseball players. And things are going to change soon. So we hope that you're here when that happens. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
And a great job by Coach Jack Zeider. It looked like he was getting a little emotional there, as it's always hard to say goodbye. Again, the Warriors fall 14-1, but that's not what's important right now. Right now, we honor our seniors here, the final home game of the 2022 season. We'll try to get Coach Zeider on with a couple of these seniors, but right now, Coach is taking his players out into shallow left field for one more pep talk on their home field, and I'm sure it's going to be a reminder to cherish it all, take it all in, as you know, when you play baseball, and as somebody who has played, it's a very special bond that you make with your teammates. And one of the toughest thing about playing a sport is that every year you have to say goodbye to a group of student athletes. And this year, we say goodbye for the final time here on home turf at Amityville. Jamal Luciano, Randy Rodriguez, Tim Fontaine, Jaden Davis, and Kyle Aloka. They'll get one more pep talk from their coach, and then, as I said, hopefully we can get a few of them on here and talk about what the last couple of years has meant to be a part of this program. Again, Warriors fall 14-1. One more game left in their season as they finish out the series against Islip. Islip already on the bus. They've taken off. But the fact that the Warriors were able to get a run today and battle hard, really only 2 bad innings. The first inning where they gave up 4 runs and the third inning where they gave up 8. That was the game right there. That's what did the Warriors in. But if you look at the rest of the game, Amityville was right there, and they could play with anybody. So hopefully now we can get a few guests on. Actually, right now, we're going to bring on Jamal Luciano, who, Jamal, it's got to be a little bit bittersweet. And we're going to switch your headset around there. It has to be a little bit bittersweet for you. You come out, you get a hit in your last game, but this is the last one. What did today mean for you?
Last 4 years playing on varsity, this is really going to hit for me, and I'm going to remember this day.
How important was it for you to try to get a hit in your last game and to be able to do that?
It was very important, but most importantly, just to have fun with my team for the last year that I'm playing my high school career.
So you look like a baseball player, as Coach pointed out. Your uniform's dirty. That's how you want to look at the end of the game. What's next for you in the world of baseball? Do you want to play next year? Do you want to get into coaching? What's next?
I'm looking forward to go playing in college for the next 4 years. So that's where I would be going.
You have one more game left. It's on the road. If you could do one final thing before you leave here, what would it be?
Win.
That's what I thought you were going to say. I wish you luck. Thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the moment. Go be with your teammates, and best of luck in your final game. You're welcome. That was senior Jamal Luciano. We'll see if we can get a couple more people on. Right now, actually, we're going to bring on the captain of the Amityville Warriors, and hopefully we'll get Coach Zeider in a little bit as well. But Randy Rodriguez, it's, again, probably a bit bittersweet, but you had a good game today.
Oh, yeah.
You came out, and let's see, what did you do today? You had yourself 2 hits.
Yes.
You scored a run, the only run of the game. How much did it mean for you to be able to have that type of day in your final game here in Amityville?
As captain and as the final game, it meant the world to me. To be honest, just being able to represent my team like that and boost their spirits, it was really fun.
And you have a special letter on your jersey as well, the C.
Of course.
What does that mean to you as a player, especially here as a senior in your final game? What do you try to bring to that C day in and day out?
Definitely to this C, it means a lot to me. Since it was given to me by Coach Zeider, it means the world, just so I could represent my team and give them the morale to keep going.
So what's next for you in the world of baseball? Do you want to play in school? Do you want to coach one day? Where do you see yourself in your baseball career 5-10 years from now?
I'd like to play in JUCO, in the collegiate league, hopefully in a community college at Nassau. Definitely going to try out, and if I make it, I get to play college ball.
Well, we wish you luck with that. You do have one more game left. It's not over yet. Of course, I asked Jamal, what would you like to see? And I'm sure you're going to say the same thing. One more to go.
Yep.
What do you want to do?
Definitely want to see a win.
That's what I figured. So we wish you luck. Go get them. We're due. And you take out 2 bad innings. Let's talk about the game a little bit.
Sure.
First inning, you give up 4 runs. The third inning, you give up 8 runs. If you wipe that off the board, it's a 2-1 game.
Yep.
What do you guys need to do in your final game to make sure you don't have those bad innings?
In the final game, we definitely got to tighten up with the small errors that we make, for sure. Small errors kill us, and that really lowers our morale of the team.
Sounds good. I think your teammates are waiting for you, so
course,
we'll let you go. But thank you for joining us. Yes. Congratulations again. That was Randy Rodriguez, senior, I don't even know what position to say, pitcher, catcher, and first base through right field and everything in between. Again, Warriors fall 14-1 on senior day. 2 innings doing them in, 4 runs given up in the first inning, 8 runs in the third inning, 8 runs on 6 hits. So a little wild on the mound with Aiden Fonsetto at times, but at other times he was dominant and did a really good job. And I think the Warriors have a very good chance to try to get a win in their last game of the season. But as Randy just told you, they have to try and avoid those 1 or 2 bad innings. But right now, like I said, it's all about honoring these seniors as they continue to take pictures here. We'll try to get a few more and of course, talk to Coach Zeider before we get out of here today. Perhaps we'll get the coach on now. Here he comes. All right. Coach Zeider. First off, congratulations on another season in the books. Every year this program, you're building it. You're building it from the ground up. And as you said in your speech before so eloquently, you may not see the results on the scoreboard right now, but I think you can really see these players starting to come around and shape into a program. What are the most positive that you can take out of this season?
Well, if anything, we start the year with one message, and it's if you're going to do anything and accomplish something throughout this season, it's to become a better person.